peaches are coming through. The lettuce is lettucing. It's really good. The weather is actually really decent in California. I'm so sorry for all of those who live anywhere else. It's May, girl. It's like vacation is knocking on my door because my shoulders need it. And
Yes.
I'm always booked and busy, but I've never felt this booked. I was like, you know what? I need to take it down a notch. What am I giving up? What check's going away? Which one are the checks?
And don't let, even though you're saying that, don't let anybody else tell you that, because then you'll cuss them out for them saying the
No.
same thing that you just said out loud.
Listen, take the checks, all of the checks. First of all, welcome to our listeners. Like, subscribe. You don't care about well, maybe you do care because you're listening. So maybe you do care about our problems. You know what? Listen, there's a lot of things happening right now. But what I want to make sure I'm thinking about, and I'm actually going to get thoughts and prayers, is everyone who stood in line at Spirit Airlines airport, in an airport, waiting for their Spirit Airlines flight to take off. And guess what? You know, it was so sad. The pilot.
What
really
pilot?
made me sad. The pilot on the last flight, I don't know if you guys heard it. He announced, I just got word from corporate. And
why
I was
are
like,
they calling him?
it.
Why are they calling him while flying? I feel like I'm going to need him to get, like, don't tell someone they're laid off mid-flight.
Like, so, I don't know if it was a brother or whatever he was. All I know is you heard the shakiness in his voice. I'm sure you heard the panic in those who were sitting in
their voices. Girl, would you want to be on the last Spirit flight? I didn't want to be on the best Spirit flight, let alone the last Spirit flight.
Girl, let me not die. This is not funny. There's nothing.
But it's not funny
about
because you know why it's not funny? My sister just mentioned it. My sister said, why is every flight attendant, baggage handler, desk person that I've seen black? All these black people just lost jobs. It said, what did it say, 17,000, 20,000, something like that?
And I will say Spirit Airlines tended to be, I mean, I will say.
Soul Plane.
So, okay, I don't want to say it out loud, but I will say that, there's a certain demographic. It was definitely cheap. You were in the first class, I think. Didn't you fly?
Girl, you're tripping. I know.
Did you fly?
I never flew on Spirit.
No,
are you sure? I did Frontier. That's just as bad but last year Frontier tried to buy them, and Biden, that was a Biden, or not last year, I guess it was 2 years, 3 years ago. Biden era was like, no, JetBlue can't buy them. Then Frontier tried to come and buy it, and everybody said no, and so Spirit is gone.
Yeah. So
Yellow Plains gone.
Yellow Plains. We made enough fun. I mean, we did call it.
I was gonna say jokes
are
gone. Jokes are gone.
But I really feel for the people who were waiting for their flight, and the people.
And the thing, the note this morning when I woke up, it said, to our guests, all flights have been canceled and customer service is no longer available. Like, damn. I'm sorry, what? They said, don't go to the airport. They said nobody's at the desk.
But I have a question.
They said, call your credit card company.
What do you mean that customer service is?
Where am I? They're done. There's no one.
My money back.
They didn't even have anyone to pay customer service. They were done. They said, call your credit card company, and there's a QR code that you can scan to maybe get your money back. But they said you'd be better off just calling your credit card company.
And do what?
I say,
and the credit card company, the credit card company.
And tell them
to call the airline. Because that's the circle of life that you're going to be in.
I heard a story. It was so sad. These people like all flying Spirit Airlines down to like someone's wedding this weekend. And it was like they couldn't. And these other airlines were like, okay, yeah, we could take you. That'll be like 700. And they were like 700.
People are going to take advantage. I mean, the gouging is going to begin. The other thing Spirit, I don't know how we started with Spirit, but for some reason that was on my spirit.
Well, I'm going to tell a story later about my Spirit being broken on an airplane, but we can wait for that.
My question is, were you on Spirit? You sure?
Girl, no, I might as well have been. Okay. It's the only thing.
Okay, we'll move on. But the other thing I want to, Jen has a really good friend who's joining us in Mexico. Daniel, hey, I know he listens.
Hey, boo. Hey, I don't know you, but hey, Daniel.
Him and his husband, Leroy. And so they called us one day recently and said, are y'all going to be able to vote? And we were like, what are you talking about, Daniel? He's like, well, your last names. He's like, I heard that, coming up with this act, da-da-da. So then I was like, okay, if people are calling us with this craziness. And then the Supreme Court decided to take us way back, the Voting Rights Act, and gut it. And so I was like, you know what? Are we going to be able to vote come June for us next month, and then come November with the midterms? Because this is serious. This is not just like, this is serious at this point.
Girl, nothing that has happened with him is not serious. It's
Him,
like
them,
everything
it's
is
them,
happening.
it's
Them, whatever. Well, at this point, it's them because it's like him, the voices in his head, and then
Right.
it's all the voices telling him what to do.
Right.
Girl, no. The answer is no, because it.
So you're not voting. Well, none of us are going to be voting. If you're a woman, if you're a person of color, if you're
Yeah.
black, if you're anything, if you're gay,
Girl,
if you're
have your go bag ready.
Did you say
that's the
pack
level.
your bag? You said pack your bag.
That's the level that things are at right now. Like, be prepared that you're going to get orders to go somewhere.
Where are we going? Except,
girl, let me tell
out of
you how
the-
peaceful Canada was.
Yes,
Let me tell
Jessica
you.
was just in Canada, and she
Yes,
learned.
and I,
Canada.
when leaving,
What
there was a
happened?
black woman at customs. And, I thought twice before I said, you're not supposed to really tell jokes at customs. But she said,
please
if
don't
you have
do
an
it.
American passport, go this way. This was in Canada. She said, go this way. And I looked at her and I said, do I have to? And she said, I think you do. I said, well,
She's like, I'm gonna need you to get
that's
out of my. I'm
unfortunate.
gonna need you to get out of my country. The other thing is, if you're in this summer, you're gonna have a special edition.
I don't
come
have to, girl.
summer
And I'm not getting that.
with-
I'm not getting that Trump pass or whatever it's called.
It's honoring 250
Years of America. But that is if we're allowed to
It's not
keep
a-
passports. We won't know. We won't know for a while.
Okay, we've now gone down the rabbit of hole. The rabbit of
Yeah,
hole.
let's come back. Let's come back because there's some. Look, I experienced
Joy.
some black girl magic. I'm gonna first give a shout out
Me too.
to. I finished the episode today. I'm gonna give a podcast shout out to Kiki Palmer. I know we talked about her because we saw her the other day. Her podcast, if you need to just die laughing, listen to the episode of her and Robin Thede. It is
What are they talking about?
a girl. It's just black girl mess, black girl magic,
Okay, now I
black
need to
girl,
listen. Now I
all
need
the
to
things. They're going crazy. And you know what's funny in it? You'll find this funny. Kiki, she's a Virgo, and
I saw them. There's a Leo because Robin is a Leo. Of course.
Robin is a Leo, and they talked about the Leo Virgo connection and how that works. And I was like, oh, look at this. Listen to that episode, please. That's my shine to shine.
I will, especially because there's a Leo. If there's a Leo in the group mix.
Robin Thede is brilliant. And Black Girl Sketch Show, if you didn't watch Black Girl Sketch Show all the way through,
Yep, I have watched it.
Go back and watch it. I'm talking to our listeners, girl, not just you.
I'm sorry. It's just, I was like, oh, yes, I mean.
No, I'm telling everybody. Those are my shines today.
Well, I think you're missing one because I had listened to the clips of our only First Lady, Michelle, with Allison Felix and Wes Felix when they were doing the brother-sister. It was really cute. I loved it. Yeah, you encouraged me to watch I watched the whole thing. It was a beautiful story, really about a woman, an athlete, probably one of the most decorated athletes, just not being appreciated. Right. And by the institution, we'll go that way. And then I loved one thing she said, and actually they both really talked about, the importance of doing things and going out on your own. And sometimes we don't always sort of think we can do that. My favorite quote is, and it was from Allison, can we have ambition after achievement? And then my other favorite one that Michelle said is, these boxes are not true. I am not who you say I am, and the box you have put me in is not. And sometimes I think we all women, regardless of where we are, Allison is coming out of retirement. And, and she's in her 40s, but Michelle Obama's point about men will be dragged off the court. But yet we sort of celebrate. We're like, oh, LeBron, right, you can't leave us. But a woman in her prime, which she clearly is, we're like, oh, you're 40, you had a baby or two. Oh, can you
even see other women, and I think this is actually good intention, but it's just because of who we are. Like, you've seen other women be like, there's so many younger women, give them a chance.
Give them a chance.
And it's like, I don't disagree that they deserve a chance, but that's not mine to give. And you would never tell another man that.
Right.
Yeah. Shout out to the Felix family. I listened to the episode actually on the plane, and I was wearing my a Seish hat that I have that says women. It says women deserve better. And I was so proud to be wearing that hat and wearing my shoes, listening to the two of them talk about, Michelle said there is so little investment in women's lives in this country. And that resonated with me. And I do feel very, very fortunate to align with people in my life who care about women and who make it not just like something that they say and not just a hat that I wear, but like truly someone who is invested in other women's success. And that's who the Felix, that's Allison and Wes are. So shout out to them.
Shout out to them.
Big ups to the Felixes.
Can't wait. I know you'll be getting your tickets to LA 28. And girl, not yet, though. You will be waiting. Like most people.
Yeah, like everybody else, because I'm not doing this whole rat race on these tickets.
You're going to, just full disclosure, probably before this episode drops, you're going to see a lot of activity from me, particularly when it comes to fashion this week. There is my favorite holiday, and I have a lot of friends who actually wait. There's 2 days that I do this. Oscars fashion and the Met Gala. And there is a very special co-host this year, our favorite, who is going to come out. I just know it's going to be good. Beyonce is the co-chair. I'm super excited to see what everyone's going to be wearing, see what Beyonce is wearing. And you will catch me posting about it and talking about it. The theme this year is fashion is art. And I actually truly believe that. I mean, if I had enough money, what is your problem? What is your problem?
I truly believe that. Okay, girl.
Let's just talk about the fact that Jessica, who is in the Bayhive, who has her card, she's card carrying, can't ride for Beyonce on probably
it's true.
right before her concert, her next concert
I'm riding
comes out.
For her.
This is about to be a Prince moment because that's what we all think is.
That she's gonna announce a concert?
Yeah. Well, her next act. They're thinking it's Prince because she had that beautiful purple outfit.
Well, yeah, I mean, everyone's already said that her next album's going to be rock. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's giving Prince, if it's giving,
It's giving. It's just going to be giving, and I don't know. And
look, girl, I'm very excited. I'm very excited.
You're not excited?
I'll buy the merch. I'm not.
You're not into the fashion
I've never
thing.
been a red carpet person. Yeah, I like looking at the pictures after. I don't like the commentary on it. It's just boring to me.
That's fine. And that's fine.
But I know I'd rather watch. It's people like you who make it good for me. I'd rather watch someone's commentary on the commentary versus these two, who knows what, unless it's Scott Evans. I like Scott Evans. But I'm not seeing, that's the person on the carpet waiting and then they're stalling. And I'd rather see someone do a tight top 10, bam, bam, bam.
I'm going to put something out here. Today is whenever it is in May. I will say that we're going to get an offer 1 year.
Be at the Met Gala?
No, to do a red carpet. Because of what you just said, I just got a vision. And what are you going to do? Because I feel as though they use
this
a
is
lot
great.
of content.
I feel like you're having a ChatGPT hallucination.
Because
I'll
you know
just
what?
say, okay.
The world of podcasts and the world of
Okay, girl.
content creators,
What do you mean?
I'm
Why
gonna
do you
be
think
like,
I wouldn't go or something?
because I think I'm gonna bring this up. I'm gonna be like,
Roll the
hit the
tape.
play, hit play,
Hit the
please.
play. Sounding auntie. Hit the play button, everybody.
Hit the play on that
Girl.
VCR.
Yeah, speaking of hit the play, another huge thing is happening this week.
What happened?
WNBA. We are tipping off. We're in the preseason.
Girl.
And on Friday, we are back. We are back.
Okay.
We are back. We are back.
Can I just say I have a comment about this? Jen has been
You're annoyed by it. Okay.
What I want to say is the announcer, the game that was just on recently, the announcer, they lost sound. And they couldn't bring up what the score was. You just like these women just playing, and I was like, "What is happening?"
Because you heard. Let's just go right back to Michelle Obama. There is so little investment in women's lives in this country.
It's time.
Actually, this is pretty funny. JCL was coming, whatever. He was about to watch something on TV, and I was watching a preseason game. And I said to him, and I really said this in all seriousness, because it's men's basketball playoffs. I said, "Oh, if you want to watch that game, we can. I'll turn off the W game."
He was like,
and he looked at me and he said, "Jessica, it's the playoffs. Of course we're going to watch that game. We're not watching a preseason." Of course I was going to ask you to turn off this preseason game. And I was like, "Oh, okay." Because I was like, I thought I was doing you a favor. He's like,
"Yeah,
you're doing a lot right now for a preseason game."
Yeah, trust me. And even Jen has been like, "Well, I have a game at 4, but I was like,
it is preseason. We're a little bit more flexible.
Not
but
really.
Girl, next week, no, it starts. And do you know who the Sparks play first? First game next Sunday.
Y'all going?
They play the Aces. The Aces are the first game on Sunday. Yes, I'll be there.
Where is it?
And playing? Mother's Day, I'm going to be at Crypto.
Is Jen going to that game? I need to find out.
I don't know. You need to ask her because I'm going to be there.
She didn't get season tickets this year because she wasn't sure when the hell the thing was happening.
Well, the first game against the Aces, this is probably going to be one of their more crowded games. But I'm going to be there. Actually, I may need to go get a hat or something online.
Okay. The other thing, and I think honorable mention, because I don't think we haven't recorded since the last assassination attempt. I don't know if we want to talk about that.
Girl, but I was out of the country. I missed it.
You were out of the country, but I will say thoughts and prayers. That's all I'm going to say.
Girl, did you hear that?
The brother was from California. I was like, Torrance?
Girl, let's shift the conversation. Who cares? Let's talk about Ray J saying he slept with 12,000 women.
Girl, I don't know why we keep talking about Ray J. Give me one wish, will you be my boo? That song, One Wish, got him 12,000 women? Girl, well, why do you believe anything Ray J? He also said that he has a heart problem and has 6 months to live. I don't understand why we are listening or talking about Ray J.
Okay, well, fine.
12,000. Girl, stop.
So fine. If the L of the Week award does not go to Ray J for that comment, we obviously know the L of 2026 is going to Klay Thompson.
The loser ass take goes to
Klay Thompson.
Man who he fumbled. I'm telling you, that's the fumble of the season.
Have you seen people say, well, no, because a fumble is not in basketball.
Sorry, sports fan.
Have you seen people say that Klay Thompson's profile looks like the PBS logo? No, and then they kept coming for him, and PBS joined the conversation and said, keep our name out of this.
I'm just saying, you cheated.
You're trash.
She was, the last video I saw over the holidays, she's frying chicken. She's doing everything. Maybe she did too much. Maybe she did too much to appreciate him that he thought that he could just slip. And that was just stupid.
Men in professional sports. I was just listening to an interview with Nia Long, and remember her husband did her dirty.
Basketball
and he was the coach of the exactly. Anyway, men, just do better. Do better. This is why I was wearing the sage hat. Women deserve better.
Women deserve better. You have a
do
good
better.
One. Blessings.
I do have a good one.
We don't
shout out.
We don't hate on men.
No,
but we want them to do better. That's just facts.
I just want them to do better. Not even best. Just better. Just do better.
You don't have to do too much. Just try not to be trash.
Just
That's all.
do better, Clay. You're not even good looking.
He really wasn't.
Not at all.
We're talking about the standards of which a woman like her, I mean...
Didn't look like he could dance. You know he couldn't keep up with that Megan Thee Stallion.
Well, I'll go.
There's no way.
Wait. But yeah, so
he'll leave that be.
Why does it feel like we're giving all of our loser ass takes to basketball players? But okay, we're gonna keep going. Our last
that wasn't all. That was just to. You mean to Lamar,
the
right?
Last one was Lamar. So let's talk a little bit about.
Stay blessed.
Your middle seat experience. I don't know why or how
girl,
you got in a middle
Let me
seat.
Tell you about this. So
Toronto.
I'm not going to get into.
Tell us all.
Yeah, I'm not. I was in Toronto. I'm not going to get into the technical details of my situation, but basically, my corporate travel agency did me dirty, and
they do it.
Their response that they were giving me was like it was the first time I've ever flown before. They're like, yeah, you don't have a seat assigned, but that's fine. What you do is when you get to the airport and you get through security, then you just go to the gate. I said, I'm well aware of the process. What I know, though, is if I wait until I get to the gate to 30 minutes before, I'm not going to have a seat. Oh, yeah, it'll be fine. Girl, row 37. That's the last on the plane.
Did you say? I don't think I've seen row 37 in a
row
long time.
37,
I didn't even
seat
know that.
B as in boy, which means middle seat. There wasn't even a row 37 on the DEF side. There was just an ABC. Girl, when I looked at these seats, they had like the little flip cushions. Like you couldn't even, it wasn't even a real cushion. It doesn't recline, because it's against the wall. Up against the bathroom, middle seat.
And wait, how long was this flight?
5 hours.
No.
5, girl, nonstop from Toronto. Yes, 5 hours.
Girl,
yes.
I have not. I have a
so
situation. I'm not sure I would have done it.
I honestly,
I'm not sure I would have done it.
It was a full flight also, so no moving. Now,
done it.
Here's the saving grace. I was coming down the aisle. There was already a woman sitting on the aisle, and she was small. She did have like a fur throw, which was pretty extravagant, but she was a small.
Fur throw?
She was a small
her
human.
Corporate travel people mess her up.
So at least I was like, okay, there's a small human on one side. Like that's a start, right? Because honestly, I started thinking to myself, if I have to touch like arm to arm with someone the whole time, I won't be able to do this flight. I will actually get off the flight.
I've had a panic attack. I'm sorry.
Exactly. That's exactly why. I couldn't do it.
That far back, plus in the middle, I'm literally suffocating. For 5 hours?
I had to tell myself.
It couldn't do it.
Like when I sat down, I had to tell myself, like, Jessica, like, you can't think about this. Like, you really can't get in your head because you won't make it.
That credit card would have pulled out so quickly, and I would have been like,
well, here was my thing. Here was my thing. There weren't that many nonstops. And so I was like kind of stuck. It's like, okay, well, I can take a nonstop, but that's going to be annoying too.
What
and then
airline was this, by the way?
Air Canada. But I think what happened is I booked it through United, and Air Canada was like, we're not doing that.
This is why tip for all of our audience folks. I always book directly with the airline.
Corporate travel, girl, they don't let you because this was a negotiated rate with United only. I couldn't get off of it.
I've had the issue with the corporate travel. What I've done is I just pay for it myself and get reimbursed. You can do that.
Girl, that's
because what I usually do is upgrade. I always upgrade.
Me too.
Flight, I called them. Do that.
Girl, I called them the day before. I said, I will pay any price. What is open? I will pay any price.
And what they say to you? They changed.
They said, your ticket is locked. I can't even upgrade your seat. I was like, okay.
This is when I would have said, I would have been like, okay.
So anyway.
Because I don't know how you survived. I will say you
honestly,
shine.
And I fell asleep. I fell asleep for about 30 minutes of the flight. 30 minutes of the flight. I worked the whole flight. And then I was like, let me just close my eyes. 30 minutes. in the first 10, my head bobbed and I hit the guy next to me. I became so mortified that I was like, "No, I'm not going to sleep now. I can't. This is too embarrassing." I was so embarrassed.
Girl, I'm gonna need to get one of those neck things that you kind of keep.
The other thing
your
too,
neck
he
tight.
was a small, should have finished the story. The guy in the window, small man also. And he actually was doing a little thing where he was kind of turning his whole body towards the window, which actually was better. Like it
Was he
gave
just
us
not? So he was just
more
like,
room.
I can't engage.
I think all of us were just like, this is, and then, you know, I'm on the plane because I'm crazy. I'm sitting here thinking about they must be like, I made this bad. Even though I'm like, we're all in 37B.
Girl,
I didn't have anything worse to do.
Why are you taking
I don't know,
responsibility
girl.
for the
The
bad
whole,
flight?
anyways, it was a whole energy. But
I would have went aisle
the
to
real,
aisle to ask somebody to give me who can I pay you? I will buy
right.
you anything to give
Let
you
me
your
buy
aisle seat.
you a drink.
Right.
Yeah, girl. Let me buy you whatever because it was not the vibe.
Survive. Right.
But here's the real actual thing I was thinking, and it gets to what I was saying with like this me apologizing for something that I didn't need to apologize for. Obviously, I'm the biggest one of the three of us. Well, not obviously.
No,
I'm saying I'm the biggest. Well, I'm saying I'm the biggest one because I already said these two people had small bodies.
Right.
I mean, these people are probably under 5'7", maybe under 5'6". I'm 5'10". Like I'm bigger than them, right? And I'm in the middle. So first of all, I was kind of thinking like, yo, you don't want to just like offer me a switch? Like you're a small person. But obviously that wasn't going to happen.
Because would you have done that? No.
Hell no.
Keep going.
No.
Keep going.
So I was sitting there for like I could only be in this headspace for a little bit because I didn't want to like get myself into like a shame spiral / anxiety. But I was thinking to myself like, this is not a unique situation for me to be in a space where now I'm thinking about the size of my body nonstop. And I was thinking to myself, like, what must it be to be someone who's never had to think about the size of their body and never thought about, and I think we kind of talked about this before, but like never talked about, oh, I'm going to the restaurant. What are the seats? What type of seats are these? What type of chairs are these? Oh, like I just was sitting there going, this situation is so uncomfortable, but it is so familiar.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, I think that, there's so many different instances in which you're in spaces that you feel elevators. I will say I don't get in them often, but I think
you don't get in them.
I do actually have to occasionally, but there is something about feeling like you are sausaged into something. I will say I have to have, I have a little thing. And so I have to have an MRI every year. Every year I have to say, could you please give me the larger MRI machine? And every year they're like, well, how big are you? What's your weight? It's like a process. And I'm like, could you just put this on my file at this point? But I do feel that there are many instances throughout, particularly for people who are in larger bodies, tall, whether you're larger because you're tall or larger because you have hips. It's a difficult thing. And it feels as though everyone's looking or everyone's like judging. Like you felt a little bit in that seat. Like,
yeah, I felt that for sure. And in my head, I'm thinking like, I actually, because I had 5 hours to think about this, I was like, there were so many dimensions to it, right? Like, I'm like, this is actually not like fat shaming myself in some cases. Because at some point, I'm like, my legs are too long for this. My knee is jamming the seat in front of me. Like my knee to hip is it's the longest part of my body. It's very long. In sports seats, in any seat, my knee is going to jam. So I'm like, this is already awkward. Then I'm like, my shoulders, it doesn't matter how much weight is on my shoulders. My shoulders are wide. Like that's my frame. Like this shit's at the end of the seat already. And then I'm thinking about as a woman, when you sit, your hips spread, like your ass spreads. Like, so I'm thinking like the parts of my body that I am dissecting to just sit in this seat, the idea that some women have never, or people, not just women, have never had to think of that.
Thought about it. I mean,
never.
The amount of thing when you're thinking about a concert a theater production.
Mm-hmm.
I will
A
never go
theater.
back to Pantages Theater because those
The
seats.
Pantages theaters are tight.
The last one I went to was the Michael Jackson musical. I ended up in the middle seat because somebody booked it for me. And I was so incredibly uncomfortable. I actually pretended like I needed to use the bathroom and never came back. I watched the entire thing from the lobby because they have the TV. And I think at some point Jen may have come out to go, "Is she okay?" I was like, "I'm good.
Right.
I'm good," because I was so uncomfortable.
Oh,
It
girl,
was
it's
so
even
great.
worse. And
I'm never going back.
when you go into those small theaters, those Broadway theaters in New York that were like built in like 19 whatever, and
I've been to
it's
them.
winter and you have your
I've been to them.
coats and
Yes.
you're sitting in there and you're like, okay, this
And
is,
you're like
you
literally
can't.
this close. I mean,
Oh my
I
God, it's so
love
uncomfortable.
Broadway theater production, but
Right.
I remember the last time I was at Temptations, I went to see the Temptations on Broadway. I had time before a meeting and I was like, Jesus, because sometimes they get smaller and smaller. Some are nice size. I think some of the newer ones, but the majority
Newer.
of them,
Yeah.
newer, but the majority of them are, you're like this. I mean, and I think it's,
Yeah.
and you're right. I mean, the thing is, there's a lot of people out there that are like, what are they talking about?
Right. Right.
But I do think if you're someone that's in a smaller size, you should be thinking about or have consciousness when, whether you're the friend that books the tickets or you're the partner, you should really, I think we don't often think about it. We're not often thought about in that.
Yeah. I don't even think people, so I've thought that before, like when someone gives me a gift and it's clearly like 2 sizes too small for me. And I'm like, since whose medium am I? And you're like getting a t-shirt, you're like, thanks. I always think about that. Like, of course, my first like thought, like shame thought is like, oh, someone didn't want to buy an extra large. So they're like giving me it because they think that is nicer or something. But then I'm like, I think a lot of people are just oblivious to size. Like they're like, what? So when you say like, think about it when you're buying tickets, I don't even think someone would ever think about that.
That is true. They're going to be like, what's your problem? And then when you're kind of like, well, can I be on the end? Which is usually what happens. Oh, or get 2 end seats because I don't want to be in the, middle. They're looking at you like you're crazy.
Right. Oh, girl, we talked about when I went on that ropes course. Well, I keep calling it a ropes course, but it wasn't. It was a suspension bridge. But
yeah, I posted the video. I posted that picture.
Suspension bridges, zip lines.
No.
Horseback riding, jet skiing, all of these things, great. But they always, if you're someone of size, you're always looking at the weight limits before you go. You're always like, okay, let me just double check that this is like what it is. And sometimes it'll tell you what you have to do. Like I'm actually used to doing it also because my husband's 6'6". So things like hot air balloon rides we can't go on, a lot of zip lining things we can't go on. But I don't think small bodied or average
whatever.
Yeah, quote unquote body, I don't think people think about it. They probably don't even think that they have weight limits on the things like that.
Or even when I'm buying chairs we were buying outdoor chairs.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, how much weight will
what's the capacity?
And what is the measurement across, sideways? I mean, you kind of measure because you don't want anyone. I think about it, right? Because I don't want to feel uncomfortable. But no one's thinking about that when there's a tiny chair that you're trying to sit in.
You're at a coffee shop and it's got like 3 pieces of like metal and you're like,
this ain't working.
This is why I never understand. Why at church? Why when you go to church, like black church too, they'll have like those little fold up plastic ones with the white. I'm like, I feel like these are like weight capacity, like 126, like
we know
through
that those
140.
Are not, right.
Those are not all
right.
Those are not universal.
If you ask, okay, some people who know this story will be laughing, and I've laughed about it. So
you busted through one.
It was Thanksgiving. It was Thanksgiving several years ago.
Okay.
Now I don't, and it was like Marcel, friend of the pod. another good friend of mine, Kelly, who might be a friend of the pod.
Do you think I know this story?
And we're all sitting at dinner. And you know what? There was one chair that I was like, you know what? It's been wobbly. So I was like, you know, I'm going to be a good host, and I'm going to sit in that chair.
This is at your crib.
This is at my Thanksgiving dinner. The chair broke. I ended up on the floor.
I know you were running around too, so you were already like anxious and like, let me get the turkey.
Marcel's son will say it was the most memorable Thanksgiving because we all laughed. But then I was like,
did you laugh though?
Or
were you embarrassed?
Laugh. I was embarrassed. I was totally embarrassed.
Yeah.
I broke a chair, but the chair was already wobbly, but I broke the chair. And I was like, why was it me? The one that was the biggest, I was the biggest in the group. Trust and believe. And I was like, yes. And to this day, I am always just a little nervous when I sit on a chair that I'm just, if there's a wobble, I'm just up and I'm slick about it. I'm like, well, you know. And so you'll see me walking around.
I'll rather stand.
Walking around and go, why is Tanya just standing? There's a wobble. Because I don't want to ever, because you think about that. I remember I always think about it now.
Yeah. When I went to Asia, I was very in my head, I was anxious about it probably 4 months before we left because I was like, oh God, I know I'm going to be the biggest person there. Everything's made for small people. What am I going to do? And the person who I'm traveling with, Shelly, happens to be the person that is like uber responsible when traveling and very detailed and had already thought about all the airline seats and, oh, this airline is actually like 3 inches like this and you got to do this.
And I love that.
And it was so nice to travel with someone who had thought of all of those things. So like that anticipatory anxiety I didn't even have because I knew someone had already been thinking about those details.
Right.
It's because it will take over your whole, especially because I think so much of it comes up on trips, right? Because you're somewhere different and it's out of your routine. And it will take up so much mind space of thinking like, how do I shrink? How do I make myself look smaller? How do I make other people more comfortable with my size, right? It's crazy.
Because it's not just an external, it really does become some internal dialogue. And so okay, Jessica, we have both confessed that we struggle with this. How, and for those who are listening, how do we overcome it? Or have we overcome it? Clearly not.
No, I definitely have. I just told you I took a 5-hour flight and all I could think about was how my body was inconveniencing someone.
And it's not, and that's the thing. I think we have to change the language that we're saying to ourselves in our head, that we are inconveniencing someone. I think we have to sort of sit with it, and this is how we feel, and we need to make ourselves comfortable. I think at the end of the day, we should be selfish in this.
Well, it's our body. It's just like, it's my right to be in my body. In the same way that this woman sitting next to me with her faux fur, like touching me, like
faux fur. Lord.
Girl, trust me. I was like, oh God, the thing that I hate when people touch me next to me is like hair. I can't. And so this is a good example. I'm feeling like inconvenience, like, oh, my body, I got to make sure I keep it in. And their hair's like touching you and you're like, want to gag?
Right.
Anyway.
That's not about, it's not about, that's they're inconveniencing you just as much because their bodies, and some people are very unaware. They are very unaware of where their hair is flipping, how their feet. I mean, it can be pretty invasive.
Well, it must be pretty freeing because I think about the opposite of how I feel like I walk around the world, which is like holding myself in as to make sure that my body is not a front to anybody or like causing anyone else discomfort. And it's like, gosh, what a freeing feeling. It must be, and I want to ultimately get to, of just being like, this is what it is. Hey, do you have a bigger chair? Do you have another chair? I'd feel more comfortable in it.
This one's wobbly, people. This one's wobbly.
I'm paying for this. Can you get me a chair I'd be more comfortable in?
Right. Excuse me. And just say, I think we have to take up space. Take up the space and own and really acknowledge and say, you know what? I need y'all to see me and don't shrink
Right.
yourself. I think
Right.
we want to shrink ourselves versus
Right.
forcing people to see us and actually care for us and care for
Right.
ourselves.
Oof, that's a word. Yeah, I think it is. I think it's this idea of like it, yeah, making yourself smaller so that people don't see me, even though what we're saying is we want people to see us, we want people to
Right.
hear us. But yeah, still like when you taking up space just doesn't feel comfortable for it's not something we're used to, right?
Right. And the next time someone suggests that you go to an amusement park in which there's weight limits everywhere and they want you to go on a ride with them in which you can't close or you can't be, just say no.
Mm,
And be like, you know what, can we find something else to do?
right. Right. Or when I was a teenager, someone would like give you a gift card to a store that you were like, you know, they don't carry above 13.
Well, let me hand.
Like
Let me hand. Right. Right. Right.
like let
No
me I
express.
remember
Was it
that.
express or something?
Yeah, or like limited 2 or something. I'm like, girl, I never wore this. Like I skipped right past this.
Right.
I've
And I
been
think
in
sometimes
women's.
we just gotta be like, girl, stop. That's not for me. I'm
Right.
like, what, you give it to your cousin. Give it to your teen daughter. This is not for me. This is not. So I think we need to really think about when in situations that you feel like, oh, I'm inconvenient. No. Use your words and speak up. You will feel better. You will feel
Yeah,
better.
it's true. Like if you want me to come, this is what needs to
This is what
be
I need.
on the situation. This is what I
Right.
need.
Right. And please make sure the robes at the spa don't give me the robe
I
that
feel like a lot of
I've been
spas
to a
are
spa
doing a better
recently.
job.
They're doing a much better, especially the mammograms. They're doing a much better
Yeah,
job.
yeah,
Remember,
those are better.
we had an episode that said, "Do we have to
Right.
design our own robes?" But I
Right.
have been still to a few that were like,
Spas.
Now they look at you. Now they look at you, and they're like, "Okay, maybe we need to give her an extra large size," or, and I'm fine. Give me an extra
Right. It's
large
like
size.
they've like trained them. Yeah.
They're
Like,
trying them, right? Or the cuff, that you're not cutting off my circulation. You're actually using a cuff,
the blood
that
pressure cuff. Yeah,
a
yeah,
blood
yeah.
pressure cuff
Where they're
that
like, should
actually
we get the
fits.
bigger one? Yes, girl. Because also if they use,
And don't ask
by
me.
the way, don't ask me. And also, by the way, when they use a smaller one, it's going to be 10 to 15 points higher, as
It's
I'm
not
well
going
aware.
to,
So it's
right.
also like you're going to do it on the smaller one first because you don't maybe want to make me feel bad. But what's going to happen is now you're going to do it. My blood pressure is going to be high. Now I'm going to be freaking out. And by the time, like, it's a whole thing. Like, girl, just
Right.
put the bigger cuff on me.
And I have a problem with my blood pressure tends to be low. So they'll put a cuff on me and they'll be like, it's like they're like, is she here? Like, yes, could you? But they'll put on one of those little cuff things and they're just like, and I'm like, my arm is literally, I need you to get me a larger size. I mean, I just need
Well, also,
you to.
I don't need you to like, I think that I just went to a new doctor that you referred me to, and it was the best experience I've had having my blood pressure taken because normally someone will come in and I'm already anxious, right? Because that's how I am with that. And someone will come in and be like, "Oh, looks like we need a bigger cuff. I'm gonna go need to find a bigger cuff." And they're sharing me their inner monologue. This last one I went to, she didn't say shit. Looked at my arm, grabbed whatever she needed to, and it wasn't the machine either. Well, the old school. And I was like, this is so much more comfortable.
Sometimes they think the old school is better. They feel
It
like
is. They say it's more accurate.
Right. And they're like, I think I went to that one and she had
It's
my
so
hand
much
up
more
and she was like,
comfortable.
done. She's like, okay, that's it.
And
Jessica, I am actually going to give you, as before we close, I'm giving you my shine to shine.
for sitting in the middle seat?
No, not for that. It's not like you didn't almost kill somebody.
For making it? And I didn't even have lounge access.
I want to say, I am really in a mood of gratitude and reminding people and thanking people for the gifts they've given me. You have truly given me a gift with this podcast, given me a gift with your friendship. I want to say Jessica is a ride or die, an incredible friend, and I'm truly grateful. I am grateful also because I feel like there's a lot of success, I feel like, that's happening. There's a lot of energy that's coming through. And I think it's because mainly one of the reasons is the inspiration that you've given me. I was thinking about this last night. You have been inspiring to me and has pushed me to be greater. So,
wow,
thank you.
thank you. Wow. Okay. Well, I wasn't prepared for this. But I do have an acceptance speech. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh Jesus! You're not getting the award for
That would be
anything.
hilarious if I was
There's
like,
no badges.
it's so funny you brought this up. I have a
I
speech.
happen to have an award. Let me pull it
Well,
out.
thank you.
Shine, girl.
Thank you. And I will say I have a lot of gratitude too. And I'm going to come back to you. Maybe I'll come next episode with something because you're doing big things. And so I'll wait until after your big thing comes out and we can talk about that. But I also want to give a shout out to people who have been listening to us. And
Blessings.
sometimes I don't get to see everyone in my life as often as I want to.
Yes.
Yeah. And then I'll talk to someone and they're like, I know, I listen to your podcast. And I'm like,
right.
Someone's listening to this? I thought Tanya and I were just like talking shit and, whatever.
I hung out with a girlfriend this week and I hadn't seen in so long. She is an amazing executive director at Jeremiah Project. We were talking and I was saying, oh, yeah, Black women gassing. She goes, girl, I already know. That was your episode last time. That was amazing.
Right.
I was like, you listening? I was like,
Right.
I didn't even know you listened to our podcast. She was like, oh, no,
Right.
I love you. So we got to be careful.
So I was going to say, we got to keep it tighter. We got to keep it tighter around here. Well, look, everybody, there's going to be, as dark as these days are, and we're not talking about our skin, there's some light coming up, and it's the Met Gala.
Yeah.
It's the WNBA season.
Yeah.
Like we said, there's some good content out there. If you want to have a laugh, Robin Thede and Kiki, get on it.
Yeah.
If you want to feel like a boss bitch and get back into the thing that you need to get into and that you already know you're better than everybody else and you need to get back in it, listen to our First Lady, our FLOTUS with Wes and Alice and Felix. Find something to gas yourself up this week.
Girl.
Find something that makes you look in the mirror and doesn't shrink, but puffs your chest up, puts your butt back.
The butt back.
Girl, butt
pop it.
Butt back,
girl,
shoulders up.
Pop,
pop
Megan
that stallion. Yes, exactly.
Right.
Do it for Megan.
Do it for Megan.
Do it for Megan Thee Stallion. Right. Watch one of her videos and try it in the mirror, okay?
Like, subscribe, listen, and pop that booty. Just pop it.
Sorry, Clay. Hey, it's Jessica. Thanks for listening to Girl Call Me. If you have something to add or a story to share, come on over to Instagram or Facebook and join the conversation. Also, make sure you follow and subscribe Girl Call Me. You don't want to miss when we release new episodes. Thanks for listening.